Simply Ming is brought to you by Ocean Spray, Wanjiasha, Tefal, Subaru of New England, and Melissa's World Variety Produce.
This is Jingyi Shifu. This is Chef Jingyi at Din Tai Fung. You have to wear a hat and you have to wear an apron. I am so happy to be here in the dumpling kitchen of Din Tai Fung. 真的谢你啊，谢你们，请你给我看一看怎么做你的皮，可不可以？ Okay. So now he's going to show us from the start how they make the master dough, and then how they roll out the dumpling. Okay. 第一个东西你什么？是粉。这是面粉。Okay. So this is the flour. 台湾进口的。This is flour from Taiwan. Then he has water, 水，对不对？对。Okay. 冷水、热水，什么水？这个室温的温水。Okay. Well, room temperature water, not cold, not hot. So they've modernized here at Din Tai Fung. They now have a big mixer. Back in the day, of course, they didn't have a mixer. Okay. 4 minutes only they mix this. One of the geniuses of Din Tai Fung is consistency. So it's exactly 4 minutes to the second. Not 4 minutes 10 seconds, not 3 minutes 50 seconds, 4 minutes. 这是最要紧，对不对？对，这是一个基本上的标准。He's saying it's so important, 4 minutes exactly. Because if you overmix the gluten, you get tough dough. You undermix it, you get lumps. Very important. So we had 3 minutes. All right, so now this is 5 seconds left. 好不好？差不多。好，可以了。So, okay, 那就把这个关掉。Alarms off. Exactly 4 minutes. Okay, and now he's putting into the next machine. So he's just kneading a little bit by hand, just to get it mixed. And now these are rollers in here, 对不对？就摸两个大东西的。对，它是有两个那个齿轮去搅拌。So there's 2 big rollers in here, and it's going to work the dough to make sure it's very homogeneous. All right, so he's getting it through, and then he folds it. He's probably going to do it. 你弄几次啊？大概10-12下左右。So they do about 10 times to really put the dough all together. So it's all about consistency, and as you see, it's getting perfectly flat. Now look how beautiful that dough looks. It's nice, perfect sheen. There's no more any straggling part. This is 什么？我想第7、第8，对不对？应该是第10。Okay, so this is his last time. 你在这儿几年了？我已经在这里7年，超过7年。All right, chef's been here 7 years doing this. It looks like 差不多像法国的，对不对？就做那个 croissant， 对不对？那个面包 ，it looks like croissant dough in a way. It's nice and supple. 好，请你。So now he's going there to the next station. All right, so he first cuts it in half, as close as he can, 2 equal sizes. And now he cuts those in half to get 4 equal sizes. This is where the Chinese cleaver is genius, right? 这个刀子最好，大刀子最好，对不对？对对。Have to have a big knife to get through all this dough. All right. Now I've seen this done a lot. Now I'm sure he's going to make a really nice snake. 好。然后我们就是需要把它收面，就把它稍微回收一下。Okay, so he's pushing it down to flatten it out, so he gets it thinner and thinner, and then he's folding it over. He's going for what's called jinjie, which is it's a Chinese word specifically meaning there's bite to the dough or to this pasta. So he folds it over to give it more elasticity because they want to go as thin as possible without it breaking. So working this dough is key. So for 2 minutes he's covering it. keep the moisture in, and just to let it rest. Okay, so it's so key to start in the middle and go out, and it's so key that it ends up exactly the same diameter. Because then when they break them off, they end up being exactly the same weight. 4.8 to 5.2 grams. Can't be more or less. So he kind of does one, and he tests like every third or fourth one. Obviously, they get so good, they have a feel for it. Even that, look, every fifth one he's testing. Again, the genius of consistency is the scale. If it's too heavy, the skin's too thick, not a good dumpling. And if it's too light, the skin is too thin, it could break. Has to be perfect. So now he's got his 4.9, 5.0 grams of dough. You had fun. Okay. So just a little bit of flour, just to coat them lightly. 几分钟？
这个是大概是需要10分钟左右的时间，
Okay.
让它稍微醒发。
These now need to rest 10 minutes, just to keep building the gluten. So here he has one that's been resting 10 minutes. We're going to come around. Okay, so first push it down. Just add a little flour, right?
对，然后一点点赶进去，对，这样子慢慢的。
差不多. All right, mine's not perfect, but it's close. This is his gauge right there to make sure it's exactly the size. Again, consistency, consistency, consistency. On his, it's a little bit thicker in the middle and a little bit thinner on the edge. And that is because when he then folds them up, the thinner comes up and ends up being then the same thickness when it doubles up as the center. The genius of these pork is that inside, you see all the shiny part? That is chicken stock reduced down. So in this form, it's solid. But when they steam them, it turns to broth. Hence the term soup dumpling. So he picks up, I don't know how these guys do that, 18 folds. And then he brings it to the top, and then he pinches it. Yeah. Get we can. Give me the show. All right. Perfect. Fired. So it's a little steam table there. 几分钟啊，师傅。So he cooked 4分钟. They just cook it for 4 minutes only. And these are auto high pressure, 对不对？4分钟。
对，它的蒸汽出来。
So he has up here a computer screen. It's going for 4 minutes exactly. And he knows this is in steamer number 2. That's amazing. Completely computerized. Again, exactness, consistency. 师傅，真谢你，我们可以现在吃小笼包。All right, this I'm really good at. Now we get to eat them. 真的谢谢你啊，谢谢啊，师傅。
不会。
Look at these. Xiaolongbao. Oh, look how pretty they are. Okay, this is the xiaolongbao with crab and pork, and these are the pork. Okay, 师傅，我们要给他们看怎么吃小笼包. Okay? So, 现在的黑醋. So this is the black vinegar, which 金姜对不对？
对，这个叫姜丝。
姜丝. It's a very special black vinegar. And there's a very special way to eat these. Okay, Jingy, you have to use.
那我们先品尝小笼包吧。对，那这个小笼包，那我们要夹是夹的它的
Okay.
那个部
He
分。
says you gotta grab by the head. Okay? Look at that soup. You see that soup?
把它拿上来。
Right? And then they go on the spoon. Look how much soup is in there. See how thin that is? Okay. Okay, hot. Oh, okay, so he puts it in the vinegar. There. So this is key. You have to take a bite of it because if you try to eat the whole thing, you'll burn your insides, right? So he takes a bite of it from the top. And you suck the broth out, right? Yeah. You suck all the broth out. You can really taste 味道很好，那个海鲜的味道。
对，因为它这个蟹黄，它是我们都有经过
Yeah.
特别
See
挑选
the inside, the orange there is the eggs of the crab, and that little bit of orange is where you get all that wonderful umami seafood flavor.
是的，
Now a little bit of the ginger, and then this is what they call perfect food. 师傅，真的谢你啊，你非常棒，我觉得我得练习，我会练习，明年我回来。我给你看，可不可以做？
可以啊，可以啊，欢迎你。
I told him I'm going to go train. I'm going to come back next year and show him that maybe I've improved. 真的谢你啊。As always, peace and good eating. We're going to continue eating dumplings. 好，再吃一个。Oh yeah.
Simply Ming has been brought to you by Ocean Spray, T-Fall, Subaru of New England, Melissa's World Variety Produce, and Wanjiashan. Watch Simply Ming on your public television station.